Okay.
So this is our healthy home on a quarantine budget. And Beverly, if you want to go ahead and start recording.
I did.
Okay. So what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk to you about the toxins that are in the products that we use in our homes on an everyday basis, that we use to clean our homes, and other products as well. We're going to concentrate on the cleaning products, but we're going to first tell you what these toxins are that are in our products, why they're bad for you, and why we want to switch out to healthier products that we have for you, and how by doing that we can actually save you money from what you're using right now within the budget that you're spending on your cleaning products right now. So we're gonna move on to our next slide. So the first thing we're gonna do is Michelle is going to, sorry, I thought we were going into my dirty dozen.
I know, almost, that's coming. So I'm going to cover the next two slides, I believe. So one of the things we want to talk about is, as women, we are exposed to over 515 chemicals each and every day. On average, 80 of these toxic chemicals are in contact with our skin, our hair, our mouth, before we even have had breakfast, right? So there's a lot of hidden toxins in everyday products like soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, and makeup. And the worst toxins of all, you wouldn't know, but they are actually in toothpaste, air fresheners, candles, laundry detergent, and of course, our cleaning products. And I use all of those things, and I was just amazed at how much toxins I was exposing myself to. So you can go to the next slide. So one of the things we need to understand is when we're exposing ourselves to all these toxins, they're actually disrupting our hormones, and they call it endocrine disruptors. And they're linked to a lot of problems, a lot of issues when your hormones get disrupted, are reproductive issues, thyroid issues, certain reproductive cancers, neural development problems, and the list goes on and on. And these chemicals actually impact the way that we sleep, our metabolism, emotions, our ability to cope with stress, having healthy weight, and all of these things because these toxins disrupt our hormones. So we definitely want to make sure that we're paying attention to what we're using in our homes and on our bodies.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about toxic household products. So there are 100,000 chemicals on the market today that were grandfathered in by the Toxic Substance Control Act of 1976. So what we are today, like decades later, dealing with in our the chemicals that we're being exposed to and the increased number of chemicals, many of them have been and continue to be on the market and were governed by laws that are decades old, because there's such a strong lobby faction with a lot of money behind it, behind a lot of these big business, you know, the beauty industry, as well as a lot of the petrochemical industries, etc. So these chemicals require no safety testing. We know very little about their side effects, and companies do not need to disclose if any of these chemicals are in their products. So scientists who work with the impacts of these chemicals on human health label them in categories like obesogens, meaning obesity causing, diabetogens, so diabetes causing, carcinogens, cancer causing, and endocrine or hormone disruptors like Michelle just shared with you today. So of the 2,983 ingredients that are studied by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, 884 were found to be toxic. 146 caused tumors, 218 caused reproductive complications, 314 caused biological mutations, 778 cause acute toxicity in the human system. So in case you're unfamiliar, when you have acute toxicity building up, like in your kidneys, in your liver, and those things like that, in different organs, those organs start to shut down. And then your body starts to break down from the inside. 146 are known to cause human cancer and are banned in other countries. And in fact, we have, there's about almost 1,400 toxins which have actually been banned in many other countries and over these years. And here in the United States, we've only had about 11 banned. So to give you a little bit of perspective on that, we still have like lead in like 60% of our lipsticks. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Even though we know more about this today, the laws haven't been changed to reflect safety for consumers. So the number 2 cause of death in the United States is cancer. And the American Cancer Society says that only 5 to 10% of cancers are caused from gene defects. What that means is that 90 to 95% of cancers are actually a result of our environment. And especially these days, but many of the times, we spend a lot of our time in our homes. And so our homes and what we bring into our homes are a huge factor on what we can actually affect in our environment and what we actually goes into our bodies and into our skin and into our blood and that of our families and that of our pets. So 26 seconds after exposure, chemicals are found in measurable amounts in the human body. And symptoms of chemical overload are more than just deadly disease. So that's what most people talk about and what you hear about, what we just talked through. But most people get a lot of symptoms that they feel are normal when they're really not normal. So things like fatigue, lack of focus, foggy brain, headaches, allergies, sleep trouble, chronic inflammation, unexplained pain, hormone imbalances, skin issues like adult acne, hot flashes, stress, fear, and our most susceptible population to the effects of these chemicals are fetuses in utero, especially in their first trimester. So let's talk a little bit about our babies. And I do have my notes here with me so that I don't miss anything that I want to tell you. So, we're going to tell you a lot of facts. We have told you a lot of facts so far, but really it's so that you can understand that there's a lot of research out there and the things that we're sharing with you are readily available if you can search and find them. And so there's a lot of studies and things that are happening. But basically, if the stats previously didn't wake you up and make you pay attention, then this one might. Stay-at-home moms and women who work in the home are 54% more likely to die from cancer than women who don't work from home. And that's not okay. There's so many dangers affecting our loved ones in your home. And even if you don't work in the home, and think about your pets and your kids and, caregivers and other people that are in your home that are helping you or spend a lot of time in your home. So let's take a minute and talk about babies. So our babies are born with almost 300 chemicals that are already in their systems before they even breathe. This is found in their cord blood. So this is basically a study that's taken by the EWG, and they basically took cord blood of infants that had not even yet had breast milk or anything from their mom. So this was purely what they had in their system when they were born. And 180 of the chemicals they found cause cancer, 217 of them cause brain damage, and 208 of them cause abnormal development. So these are our babies that we're having right now. And the skin of a baby is 30% thinner compared to an adult, and their blood-brain barrier is developed at 6 months. So this is 6 months post-birth. So you can see that the chemicals can easily penetrate the brain for these babies and these infants. And in the EWG study, they found that 82% of baby products contain formaldehyde, which again does not need to be disclosed on their ingredient list. 67% contained 1,4-H dioxide. 61% contain both, and both of these are cancer causing. So the EWG also found that a huge amount of baby products that contain chemicals, there were 97% of baby bubble bath products, 95% of baby wipes, also in 91% of baby lotions and 92% of baby shampoos. So all the marketing and everything that we've been growing up that we lead, it's all a fallacy, because they are not really putting clean products and chemicals on the market for us to utilize for any of us, much less our most susceptible population, our babies.
So let's talk about the 12 most common toxins that are in a lot of our products. We call them the dirty dozen. Now I want you to take a look at the screen. I'm not going to talk about all of these today. I'm actually going to talk about 3 of them. But just take a look at those 12. And again, these are the 12 most common. There are so many more. And what they do. So what we've listed are what they do, what the name of the toxin is, and actually what it does and where you find them. But I'm going to kind of talk to you about 3 of the most popular in so many of our products, as well as the most common. And the first one I'm going to talk to you about is fragrance. So when you see the word fragrance in a product, and actually fragrance, parfum, P-A-R-F-U-M, which is the French word for perfume, any one of those 3 words, fragrance can have up to 300 toxic chemicals inside, and it can still be just listed as a fragrance. The EWG, which is the Environmental Working Group, and if you don't know what this group is, go ahead and Google it. It is an agency that is a nonprofit that labels all of, they actually take thousands of products that are out there and tell you about the ingredients and what's toxic and what's not, including our foods. But the EWG says that 75% of the products that list fragrance contain hormone disrupting chemicals called phthalates. And that's spelled with a PH and a TH in case you aren't looking. It's called phthalates, which is what helps the fragrance last longer. And that's the phthalates can pass from your skin to your blood and contain many harmful chemicals that are linked to lower sperm count, liver and breast disease, diabetes, reproductive malformations, and the EWG suggests that when a consumer reads a label that says fragrance, that they should basically read that as hidden chemicals. And as I said, that's parfum, perfume, and fragrance. And I don't know if you were aware of this, but I tell you to turn over almost every label in the grocery store, and one of the first things that you will see is fragrance, which is very frightening as far as I'm concerned. And the second toxin that I'm going to talk about is called triclosan, which is an antibacterial agent and preservative found in toothpaste, deodorant, laundry soap, shaving creams, household cleaners, just about everything, every product we use in our home. And it's known for its germ-killing power. And that's why it's in so many of our hand soaps and body wash. And actually, in 2017, the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, banned antibacterial soaps and triclosan. But you, unfortunately, will still see them out there, which is also very upsetting. According to the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, triclosan has been found in the bodies of 75% of Americans. I'm going to repeat that because it is so frightening. 75% of Americans in their bodies, they found triclosan. The third toxin that I'm going to talk about is called sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, or sodium laureth sulfate, which is SLES. And this is a common ingredient in toothpaste, again, shampoos, mascara, acne treatments, detergents, household cleaners. It's a foaming agent that performs very much like soap. And according to the EWG, it is a moderate hazard linked to cancer, neurotoxicity, organ toxicity, skin irritation, and endocrine disruptors. So what happens when our bodies get overloaded with all of these chemicals? These chemicals, these synthetics, are unable to break down naturally in our bodies or biodegrade. So they accumulate in our fatty tissue, and this is called bioaccumulation. And bioaccumulation is really, really toxic. Now, you may be only getting a very small amount in each product that you're putting on your body. But when you brush your teeth with toothpaste, and then you wash your face with soap, and then you moisturize your face, and you put your oil on, and then you wash your hair with shampoo, and then you put the conditioner on, and then you use the hairspray, and then you use the body wash and the, moisturizer for your body, and then you clean your home with all these products, they're accumulating in our body all over. And this is causing a huge toxic burden on your body. So the worst thing, obviously, is it can cause cancer. But of course, there are so many other effects in our bodies, such as becoming lethargic, the inability to focus, chronic inflammation, unexplained sleep loss, acne, hot flashes, stress, anxiety, unexplained pain in your body. Now, I had always believed, before I had done this research, that the companies had to label our products properly and that we could trust what was on the label. Well, that's not so. And you would think that our government and these companies would have our best interests at heart, but they don't have to. And as a matter of fact, when they even labels that say natural or organic or clean, don't have to be. This is called greenwashing, because the EWG states that something could say natural or clean, and that can mean something or it can mean nothing. There's absolutely no regulation on any of this. So this is, so you also have no idea, they never put the amount, so you don't know if you're getting a touch amount of a toxin or a great large amount of toxin in your product. So this information is, as Beverly said, it is out there readily available. And this isn't to scare you because, well, actually maybe it is to scare you, because I know when all of us, or myself specifically, I'm talking for myself, I know that when I had no idea, and when I read all this and researched it, it did scare me. It scared me enough to research, and that's why we're using the Young Living products that we use now. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to talk about examples. I'm going to give you a few examples of the typical household products and take a closer look at some of the things that are in those things that, before I knew these are the things that I used. I mean, this was growing up. Dawn dishwashing liquid was the creme de la creme of dishwashing liquid, and it was used for everything besides even, recipes that didn't include dishwashing liquid. But so, and you can see, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce some of the chemicals, but the dyes, the fragrance, the other A1 and the B1. But these cause developmental and endocrine reproductive effects, skin irritation, allergies, acute aquatic toxicity, respiratory effects, and again, biodegradation. They cause cancer, chronic aquatic toxicity, general systemic organ effects. And again, these are all endocrine disruptors. And these are just, again, some of these are not all of the ingredients. We just highlighted a few to tell you why you wouldn't want that one. So let's go to the next
So can I just spend a minute? Are you going to talk later about the aquatic toxicity piece of that, or?
No, you can go ahead.
So if you guys are not quite familiar, so these things are not just not healthy for us, but they are also going all the way into our environment. So when you use these products and they go down the drain, they're now finding their way into our water systems and our oceans and our rivers. And they're now finding frogs, and they're finding fish that they're finding, I forget what the number is, but there's male fish that now have eggs, and they're finding frogs that are also coming out with opposite gender items. So that is just like these are hormone disruptors and things that are affecting our bodies. They're also getting into our environment and into our water streams, and they're affecting the other animals in a similar way. So that's where it says acute aquatic toxicity. That's leaning more towards that.
Yeah. And you want to take, okay. So then here is your typical all-purpose cleaner, and this one is Lysol. Again, these a lot of concern for allergies, asthma sufferers. It triggers symptoms in them, eye and mucous membrane injuries from getting it in your eyes. Again, fragrance. The fumes cause irritation, shortness of breath, cough, nausea, headaches. And one thing I will tell you is very interesting. My housekeeper, who my business partner and I both use the same housekeeper, and she worked for many families before, and she had always had, she would cough and she was sick all the time. And when she started working with us, because we had already switched over to all clean products, all the Thieves product line, and she has not been sick since. So that's pretty amazing. And these were all of the products that she was using. And then now this one really is, everyone thinks that Dreft is your, again, the creme de la creme of baby laundry detergents. It's what I was told when my daughter was born. Everyone said, get Dreft. When I looked on EWG, it is literally an F. It is the worst of the worst, and it is for our precious babies. And, it's one thing for an adult to have these things on our skin, and it gets into our skin. And remember, your laundry detergent, whatever goes into your washing machine, are the things that are the closest to your skin, to your baby's skin. Because you put from your towels that you put on the sheets that you sleep on, the clothes that you put on your body, the, panties, everything. And these are where they're finding all the concerns, the asthma, the respiratory, skin allergies. They have also, linked autism to many of the chemicals in these products. Cancer, of course, and, environmental issues. Then also something we want to talk about was the optical brighteners. And Beverly, this is something that she is really, really passionate about. And so please feel free to add anything that if I miss it. But so, these optical brighteners that we use, they are supposed, they're basically it's a light. It's the way that the light hits it. It's false. It's not true. They're not doing anything. And you'll find it's interesting because when you actually start to use more cleaner products, and you first start looking and you're like, well, these look dingy. Well, no, they always have been dingy. But these optical brighteners actually make it look like that they are clean, and they are absolutely not. So do you want to add anything to that, Bev?
Nope, that was great. I mean, it's just a trick. It's a trick that they do, and then the chemicals they use to accomplish that are toxic, so they're not healthy for us.
Yeah. And once you start using the cleaner products, you will find that you can do all of these things without any of these toxic chemicals. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we go.
All right. So we covered a lot of great information. And now it's the time where we want to say, here's where you can just take small, simple changes. And I would even say small steps can lead to huge changes and benefits and make a huge difference in your health and your well-being overall, okay? So the first thing we want you guys to know is to become aware. Look at the labels, read the ingredients. Don't just arbitrarily, oh, it's Tide, I know I trust Tide, or it's Johnson & Johnson, whatever. Do not just arbitrarily go to what you know, what you're familiar with, because there's a lot of hidden toxins there. The second thing we want you to do is to eliminate. So once you've educated yourself, you know, okay, I need to make some changes here. Throw away those toxic things. Real quick, one of the things I want to add is like anything with talcum powder. I threw all of that out. Do your own research on that as well. And then make the choice to replace items that you use most frequently. If you know every day you're using, you know, dish detergent, you're using laundry detergent, deodorant, things that you're putting on your skin or around your skin or breathing in every day, cleaning products, whatever you use them frequently, that should be your priority. Also, another approach to prioritizing is replacing items of those that are the most vulnerable that you may care for, including yourself. So if you have young kids, be very mindful. Just they mentioned about Dreft and all those other brands that people are familiar with. Make sure you're switching out those things so that they're healthy products that you're using. If you care for elderly people, they have a lot of sensitivities and can't always communicate the challenges they may be having. So take a look at the products that you're using on elderly people, as well as your pets. And your pets are members of the family as well, and they can't talk and tell you anything. So if you're just being proactive about that, that's going to go a long way. So you can go to the next slide. So the basis of the cleaning line and a lot of other products is the essential oil thieves. And just to give you guys a little bit of background about the thieves essential oils, it was inspired by 15th century French grave robbers, if you will. And they were running around literally robbing graves during the middle of a plague, okay? But they were not getting sick. And when they finally got captured, in exchange for a reduced sentencing, they were able to share the things that they were using to keep themselves immune from catching the plague. And so that formula has been adapted into the Thieves line, and hence the name Thieves, which is kind of cute and play on words there. Is this wonderful essential oil. It smells great. It's full of a blend of wonderful essential oils, including cinnamon, eucalyptus, lemon, and clove, and they all smell wonderful, okay? So the next slide is the actual cleaning product that is derived or adapted from the essential oil, okay? It's totally natural and plant-based. So you can trust that it's going to be healthy for you. It's not going to harm you. It's not going to irritate you. It's multi-purpose, and we're going to show you some really fun DIYs here in a minute, how you can use this in so many different ways. It's cost-effective. The concentrated bottle that are showing there, I have one here too. This makes like almost 30 bottles of just regular cleaner. And that comes out to like $1 or so or less per cleaning bottle. And you know, right now, I mean, cleaners that have filled with toxins are like $3, $4, $5. And it's effective and it's environmentally friendly. It's completely biodegradable into the environment. That is so key. You know, Mother Earth, we live on Mother Earth and we have to take care of it. And we don't want to be putting things into the environment if we can help it that's going to damage the environment. So knowing that you're using a cleaner that is not going to hurt the environment, that is just an added bonus. And plus it's effective. All right, you can go to the next slide. So here.
So this is Lisa.
Okay, Lisa, sorry.
Lisa's supposed to
ahead,
use household cleaner.
All right.
Okay, can you see me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing so that you can get a bigger picture of Lisa.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen? Everything's good? You can see what I have. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to just grab my recipe that I had right here, just to make sure that I've got it. Okay, so I would like to tell you one quick thing is some people are born to DIY and they love to make products and things, and then some people are not. Well, the beautiful thing about this Thieves Household Cleaner and Young Living, they have a full line of everything. They have a full line which we'll tell you a little bit more about. But so you don't have to DIY. I am one of those people who does not, if it takes more than a minute, I really don't want to do it. I don't feel like I have the time to do it, so I'd rather just buy it. But I'm going to show you in 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how I can make 3 products, and they're all amazing. And actually, these are 3 that I actually do make because I use them on a regular basis. So first, I'm going to make my jewelry cleaner. And I was glad that we were doing this because I'm out. So, and again, you can use any jar, anything that you have at home. I'm just showing you some examples. But I take this jar, I like it, and I am going to put 1 teaspoon of Thieves Household Cleaner, which I kind of guesstimate on that. I put 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now I did grab my things here. Sorry, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to add 5 drops of lemon essential oil. There's my 5 drops. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of distilled water. Okay. I'm going to put my little thingy on it. Shake it up. And it's done. And it'll stay and it'll keep. And I just drop my rings or my jewelry in there, take it out, and then I just use a cloth to wipe it clean. Just rinse it and wipe it. So that is my jewelry cleaner. And now I'm going to show you my glass cleaner. I'm going to take a 1/2 cup full of Thieves Household Cleaner. As Michelle told you, this is a concentrate. So I'm going to stick it in there. 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And 5 drops of citrus fresh, which comes in the starter kit. Now I'm out of citrus fresh, so I am going to add a little bit of orange. And I'm going to add a little bit of lemon because I like those together and those are citrusy. So I add 5 drops. As you can see, this isn't a science because you can add a little bit more, a little bit less, and it's all good. And then I'm going to fill the rest. I'm going to put 2 cups in. And this is a 16-ounce bottle. Okay, that's done. Now I will use this on windows, mirrors, all glass things in the house, picture frames, things like that as well. That's my glass cleaner. And then I'm going to do the kitchen cleaner. And I just wanted to show you options. I use a glass bottle for some. I get this at the dollar store for $1. And I just stick my own label on it. But this is my kitchen cleaner, so I'm going to put Now, if I were using a 16-ounce bottle, I would use 1 capful of these. Well, I dropped that. But since this is about a 32-ounce bottle, and because I'm going to use this, I'm going to put 2 caps of my thieves in there. And I will tell you that this alone right here, if I put the 2 caps of thieves and then I filled it with water, that's a perfect all-purpose cleaner. But I like to add a little bit of lemon to that. And then I'm going to fill it with water. And as you can see, now I'll add a little bit more water when we're done here, but that's 3 products. That's my glass cleaner, my household cleaner, all-purpose kitchen cleaner, and my jewelry cleaner. Done.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. Okay, so I am now going to show you how to make a couple more products. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to make is wipes, and I love my wipes. So first thing you're going to need is a container. So this is my container that I have. I just got this off of Amazon. And as you can see on the front, I've got my little recipe. So when I'm ready to make it, I don't have to remember what it is, but it's super duper simple. And then what I'm going to get is basically, the next thing I'm going to need is paper towels. So for me, I have found that I really prefer the Bounty pick-a-size towels, paper towels. And this is a normal paper towel roll, right? But it's cut in half. So I used a knife and we cut it in half. If you find that your paper towel roll it should fit snugly into your container. If you find that it's a little big for your container, just use it for a little while. And then when it fits into your container, just take it off your thing and cut it in half and put it in your container that you can have there. So what I'm going to do is take 2 cups of water, which this is distilled water for me, that I've already done. And in that, I am going to add 2 capfuls of my Thieves Household Cleaner. So very similar to what Lisa did. I'm just going to put 1 and 2. And I put that into my water so you can kind of see the little tint. And then with the wipes, what you just do is you just gently pour it over the paper towels in your container. And I like to just kind of go around, but you can pour it in however you want. After you pour this in, it'll take about a half a day, or if you make it at night, it'll be fine in the morning. And what will happen is the water will all distribute evenly across all of your paper towels. So then you have your solution and you just start using it that way. And the way that you use this now, oh, did y'all see me pour that in? I'm sorry, I was pouring, the camera level is probably a little off, but
no, it was right.
Okay. And then you'll see that I still have the paper towel tubing inside. Once it gets wet, it comes out super duper easy. So I just kind of wiggle it a little bit just to kind of loosen it up, but it's already damp because I put the solution in there. And it'll come basically right out. There you go. Oops. And some paper towels with it. And then basically what you just do is you pull it from the middle. So you just pull one at a time out of your thing. And when I'm not using it, then I put my little top on it and I lock it. And it's awesome because it's a great tool for my kids to help me. I feel wonderful when they're helping me clean the tables, the counters. They use these to clean the chairs. Anything that we have, I've even scrubbed the stove top with them when we spill stuff as we're cooking and that kind of thing. So they're fantastic for all of those things. Anything that you want. I also, and I'll show you this later, but I basically take a few of them when I was working out in the gym. or your car if you're going to grocery shopping, and you can put a few of them in a container, and then you can wipe down whatever, grocery carts, steering wheels. I wiped down my gym equipment after I used it, and that kind of, I mean, before I used it too. So all that kind of thing. So that's your wipes, and they're awesome. I love, that's one of my favorite products that we make. And then the other one that I was going to show you is basically, I'm going to go back to sharing screen really quickly. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk a little bit about our dish soap. So basically, we have a fantastic Thieves dish soap. So, so for this, you heard Lisa talk about the Dawn dish soap, basically, and all the toxic chemicals that are in it. And it's amazing that we can use products that are immune boosting. So like what Michelle was saying, Thieves essential oils, therefore all the Thieves products are immune boosting instead of immune destroying, like what Lisa described is what we typically use, most people. And it's not, I mean, there's no guilt or shame. We used what was available and what we knew about, and this is all about education so that you know more information and you make the right choices for your home and for your family, whatever those are. And all the time, but now more than ever, we're keenly aware of wanting to strengthen our immune systems instead of using products that really compromise them. And so dish soap is a plant-based formula that leaves dishes sparkling. It uses Thieves, bergamot, jade, lemon essential oils, and it lathers, that we talked about, but it doesn't do foaming. So it doesn't have those extra chemicals that are not good for us that do that foaming, that super, super foam that most people are now used to. But it will lather. It will do a simple lather. So there is an adjustment when you're first using the dish soaps or any natural products, toothpaste and others, because they won't be doing that foaming, artificial foaming. So it's a really nice thick liquid. I don't know if you can kind of see the consistency in there, but it's a nice thick liquid. And it just use a very little amount and your dishes will go a long way, and this bottle will last a really long time. It will last longer than a lot of the other normal dish soaps that you'd probably have used in the past, like what we talked about earlier. But you can also stretch this. So I'm going to show you a quick hack around this. So from a hack perspective, what I did was I have a third of the dish soap in here. And so I'm going to stop sharing so I can show you again. Okay. So basically what I've done in this bottle, so this was a new bottle. I poured out 2/3. And if you keep your old bottles, and then you can take one and just divide it by 3, and you can make 3 at one time. So you can take this and make it 3. So I put 1/3 in here of the dish soap, and I'm going to take the top off. And I'm going to put in here, you can optionally put some baking soda in here. Some people like to put baking soda because it adds more foamy and fizz to it. I don't typically do that personally, so I'm not going to do that, but that is an optional step, and it is part of the recipes if you want to do that step. And sometimes that helps people transition a little bit of that feel from foaming more to less foam until you get a little bit more adjusted. But I'm going to go ahead and put in 1 cap full of Thieves. So again, sorry, got to lift it up so you can see. And what's really awesome that we haven't really been talking about too much is this bottle will last you 6, 7, 8, 9 months. It depends on what you use it for and how much, but it'll last you a long time, which is a huge value because we're only using like capfuls at a time. I'm also going to be putting in 10 drops of my lemon essential oil. 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can use any citrus oil that you like. The citruses tend to be very cleansing. And so, and you also, you see in here that you have lemon in a lot of things. And then I'm just going to be adding, again, in here, you can add regular water or distilled water. I happen to have distilled water with me, so that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to be pouring that in here. And this is really a great one. We use this, like I said, it's nice to make 3 bottles at once. Then you just kind of leave them under the sink and then pull them out as you need to use them. And it really does a great job of stretching your soap. But again, just make sure there will be an adjustment period for you related to the foam if that's what you're used to initially. So then I just close it, make sure it's capped off, and then you just shake it a bit. And once it kind of mixes the water with that soap in there, then you just put it by your sink, and now you've got 1 bottle out of 3. So that's awesome. So I'm gonna go back to sharing.
And not only do you stretch your dish soap, you stretch your dollars.
Yes. All right, Michelle.
All right. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a awesome Thieves soft scrub. And the pictures here kind of just show you some before or after of just using the scrub. I believe the first one looks like a dish garbage disposal, and then there's a pan that, I mean, look at all the gook that was on the before pan and then after.
Yeah,
and
this is one of our friends' ovens. That's a burner.
Oh,
and
that's an oven. Okay, that's an oven burner. Oh, yeah, because they're in South Africa.
Yeah, but these are some friends of ours.
So, and my kitchen is smelling so good because I've already opened up the Thieves and some of these oils. So I'm going to show you real quick. So to make the scrub is super duper simple, easy peasy. I have a jar that I've just repurposed. I might have had pickles or olives or something in here. I'm not sure. But I also, let me just bring up my recipe. So all you need to do is 1 cup of baking soda, and I've pre-measured out some baking soda, and I'm just gonna put it in. And I'm near my sink because when you add the vinegar, it does have a little bit of a foam action, so I'm ready for it. So here's the baking soda in the jar. And then I'm just going to add a teaspoon of vinegar. And just so you know, this is just regular Arm & Hammer baking soda, real cheap. And then the vinegar I got is just some regular distilled white vinegar. And I'm going to add that in. And you can kind of hear it foaming a bit there. The next ingredient is 1/4 cup of Thieves cleaner, and I have that pre-measured rather out as well. Just add that in. And last but certainly not least is awesome lemon essential oil. You're just going to add 10 drops of this in. And I'm using a 15 ml, like the oils that you use a lot of, it's a better value to get the 15 milliliter, just so you know. Easy, okay? And then that is literally it. All I have to do is mix this up, and you can double, triple, I mean, if you need a lot of this. And I've used this even like in the tub, you know how you want to get soap scum from around, like, you know, and it's like, even like the expensive cleaners weren't that effective, but this stuff actually works. And because it's non-toxic, you don't even need gloves. You can literally take your hand and wipe it down and your hands smell like wonderful lemon. You're getting all of the properties, the wonderful Thieves in there, and it comes out kind of like a little paste. And I'll just let that sit because I'm going to use that later in the tub. And then the next product I'm going to show you how to get a wonderful hack on is the laundry detergent. And I was one of those people that had sensitive skin, and I was looking for alternatives. And like the ladies mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of real non-toxic plant-based alternatives that actually work. This stuff works, okay? And again, all you have to do, you need a couple containers. You can get a couple jars. And when you buy the cleaner, this is highly concentrated. All you need to do is take the jars and separate out a third of this bottle. So you can just break this up into kind of thirds visually. So I've already done that with this bottle here, okay? So this bottle does 64 loads. So by the time you've broken this up into 3 bottles, you've got 3 times that. And it's so concentrated, you only need a little bit. So I'm gonna show you how to stretch this and make it awesome and save even more money. Is first you're gonna do is just take 2 capfuls of Thieves, and I'm gonna just add, pour the capful. That's 1. Pour it in. Pour the second one. Okay. All right. And then next, you're going to, so that's your concentrated household cleaner full of wonderful antiviral, antibacterial, disinfecting power in a plant-based product. And then next, you're going to add 20 drops of the oil of choice. My oil of choice is lemongrass. Oh my God, I love lemongrass oil. For more reasons than one, but lemongrass actually has a lot of purifying properties as well. So you're just gonna add 20 drops. 7, 8, 9. Almost there. Okay. And if you get a drop or 2 extra, not a big deal. It's just adding extra goodness to it. And then last but certainly not least, all you need to do is add you can either add boiled water that has warmed down to room temperature, or you can just use distilled water. I mean, this whole big thing of distilled water was like 99 cents. And then you just fill up the rest of the container with the distilled water or the boiled water that has cooled down to just room temperature or just warm. And leave a little bit of room at the top because you're going to shake it up to mix it. There. My kitchen smells so good right now.
I love making this stuff. You get like a little mood boost too when we're making these cleaners because it smells so good. You just shake it up, and
you've got 3 whole bottles of wonderful, effective, plant-based, healthy laundry detergent for the price of 1. So there you go.
All right, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about some other Thieves products very quickly because we are reaching the top of the hour and we do have a few more slides to go. So just want to make sure though that you guys are aware of a few things. So basically the Thieves line is very encompassing in household products and home products that can help us, as well as in oral care products. And I just want to spend a minute on the oral care products. So that's on the top of your screen. We have several brands. Oral care is very, very important. So gut health, there's a huge amount, over 30% of your immunity is in your gut health, in your gut. And your mouth and your oral care is the beginning part of that as well. So it's a huge contributor to your health and wellness. And it's typically listed in the top 5 things that you can do to impact your health and increase your immunity as well as your just general wellness. So we do have a couple of different toothpaste. What's listed there and what you see on your screen, we have a whitening and an Aroma Bright. And this is, the whitening just came out in the last year. Aroma Bright's been around for a little bit longer than that. And we have some other ones as well that are some other toothpaste, but these are amazing. They are pastes. So the number one thing I want to make sure, again, there are no foaming agents in it. They're all natural. They boost your immune system, but they're a paste. So they're going to, some people find it a little bit adjustment when you switch directly from what you were using before that foamed up, that was all colored and all that kind of stuff, to the paste that you have now. But we also have mouthwash. So this has colloidal silver, among other things, and essential oils, which is really, really good. This is really strong. And the toothpaste, these guys, these will last forever. Like you just need a tiny half pea size, and that's all you need for your whole mouth. For the mouthwash, this is really, it's very strong, and I typically dilute this. So people dilute it half, a third. I actually dilute it like a fourth because it's pretty strong for me, and it works just as great and effective. If you do get like some mouth sores or things like that in your mouth, or if you're recovering from some things that are dental work that was done, you can use this undiluted, and it will totally help with that recovery process, keeping your mouth healthy. As well as we have dental floss, so this is great. Love it. I use it all the time as well. Other products that we have, you can see, in addition, in your kitchen, we also have fruit and veggie wash. So this little bottle has literally lasted me, I think I've had it more than a year now. I only put a tiny amount in a large bowl of water when I'm cleaning fruits and vegetables, or I'll put it, some people have, put it in their sinks, and you put maybe a little bit more, like a cupful or a tablespoon. But it lasts a long time. It takes that white stuff that's on your fruits and vegetables and your broccoli, all that comes off. What you'll also find is that when you use it, a lot of times some of your vegetables will have kind of a bitterness. It'll actually take out some of that bitterness as well. So that's a really nice thing. And then after I rinse it out with this, and then I rinse my veggies down pretty well. Some people don't even do that. They just kind of shake it off and eat it like that. You can totally do that. I just like to rinse it a little bit more with clear water, and then I'm good to go. We also have in there a dishwashing powder. Some people like a powder experience. I personally prefer, literally, I just use a capful of Thieves Household Cleaner in my dishwashing cup with another, I fill the rest of it up with white vinegar, close it, done. Does my dishes beautifully. But we also have great things like our foaming hand soap. So the foaming hand soap there, and the refillable is right next to it. Again, this is a fantastic job. We're going to plan to show you this, but if you have, when you're doing this, it's very luxurious feeling. So if you only fill it a third and then fill the rest of the 2/3 of your bottle with water, this works just as effective, and you can totally stretch this. It's a great one to stretch. I do that a lot. And then you've got in here, like I said, these are the Thieves wipes. I love my wipes. So what I did was I have these from the Thieves wipes, which are fantastic. But then what I do is I take the empty containers, and this is where I grab a few of mine and I shove them in here, and this is what I take to the gym in my gym bag or in my car and that kind of thing. And this is a great little container for that as well. Thieves soap. So this is another bath product. This is great and fantastic for, we have a lot of amazing bar soaps, and I will tell you, they last, I don't know, 3 to 5 times longer than my bar soaps did before. So when you look at the price tag, you might think, oh my gosh, that seems expensive. But I'm not kidding you, because as you were transitioning, like my husband uses our old bar soap, and I use the new one as we're transitioning, because he's kind of like, no, don't take all my products away from me at one time. He went through 3 or 4 bar soaps, possibly more than that, in the time it takes me to go through one. But we have a lot of them. I love the charcoal black one, but this particular one, if you have, bacteria causing odors or things like that you might have a problem with, or things like that, this little baby is super fantastic. So we're trying it out actually on my oldest daughter right now, who's starting high school and has some challenges with some of that. So, but I also wanted to spend a little bit more time on our hand sanitizer. And this is because the reason, one of the things that like Lisa was calling out before, the triclosan and the sodium lauryl sulfates and sodium laureth sulfates, those are very popular right now as in products like hand sanitizers, in hand soaps, and things like that. And the reason why it's so important right now is because we are washing our hands and using hand sanitizers more than ever. So while we had a problem before, we've always had this as a problem, now it's even more aware because it's more prominent, because people are having more and more issues. So if you actually look at some of the research that was done, here you've got people coming up more and more with rashes and things like that. But in an article that was posted in ABC News in April, they said the US lockdown coincides with the rise in poisonings from cleaners. Reports from accidental poisonings from cleaners and disinfectants are up sharply, and researchers believe it's related to the coronavirus epidemic because we're doing this more and more often, and we need to stay healthy, but we need to in a healthy way so we don't compromise our immune systems. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported these types of poisonings up 20% compared with 2018 and 2019. And the CDC also reported that roughly 40% of the calls this year were about poisonings in children under 5 and younger, with an increase in all age groups. So for our young children, the rise is mainly in mishaps involving non-alcohol disinfectants and hand sanitizers. So again, you know, we're asking our children, we're asking ourselves to wash our hands more, to use more hand sanitizers, but we need to have them look at healthy ones that are not going to hurt us in a way.
Yeah, and Beverly, one thing I just wanted to quickly add was, you know, they started with like 20 hand sanitizers that were banned because of all the terrible ingredients and things were happening. And now that list, CNN reported just the other day, is over 100 hand sanitizers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So thank you for sharing. Yes. In addition, people having more reactions to hand sanitizers, increase with rashes, itchiness, extreme dryness, bleeding, cracked hands. They've had, again, poisonings you just heard about, but they've also had things like hallucinations. And part of that is also because a lot of hand sanitizers, especially with demand in the market and the shortage of availability, they're being made with methanol, an M, instead of ethanol. And methanol is highly toxic to us, but it's really cheap. And it smells the same, and it looks the same, and it disinfects the same. And so people don't necessarily know the difference when you just buy the products. So that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. So really, just like anything else, but now the things that we're using more and more, quality matters. Who you're buying from and a brand that you can trust is important. And so our hand sanitizer is amazing. You can see it right there, Thieves. It feels so soft like silk. It boosts our immune systems. It does not dry out your hands, like does not. It's amazing. And you only need a tiny little bit. So actually it lasts a long time. When we sell them in large and small bottles, and the small bottles are perfect for handbags, backpacks, lunch kits, gym bags, anything that you're going to be using like that, pockets, you know. And the CDC recommends that use 60% alcohol base, and our hand sanitizers has 65%. And then our Thieves spray on the next slide has 72%. So these are really great products. There is alcohol in these, but this is from peppermint. So it's completely plant-based, natural derived. It's not created or fabricated in a lab. And so, you know, we want to make sure that we do our best to protect ourselves as well as our families. Oops. And then quickly, Thieves spray. So again, this is another alternative, like I mentioned before. This is fantastic. You can see here that even Thieves spray was listed in the list of interim household products that are active ingredients for disinfectants during the COVID-19 virus. And this was in Singapore. But a lot of our, you know, it's the same product that we sell in Singapore that we sell here. And you can use this spray on a lot of things. Hands, obviously you can use it on your hands if you want to, but door handles, shopping carts, credit cards. You can spray it on a cloth and do your phone, you know, glasses, anything, basically any surface you can use the spray on as well, you know, steering wheels. A couple of my favorite things are makeup brushes, and then my shopping carts when I go grocery shopping as well. So with that, I will hand it over to Michelle.
Awesome. I do the same thing. So big changes start with small steps. So let's just go to the next slide here. We have 2 kits that we're just featuring today. We have several kits. We always recommend that you start with the premium oil starter kit, which is on the right-hand side, which will give you a very good foundation of all the oils and give you some other products such as a hand sanitizer, and you also get an awesome diffuser with that. But we also do have the Thieves starter kit. So if you're looking to like throw out everything at once or do a good portion of switching over your products, this is a great value that you can start with. It's $125 for all these products that you can stretch. You get a lot of value there. If you're already a member, you can also get this kit for even deeper discount. I believe it's $118 to get this whole kit. It's a great introduction to thieves, and I guarantee you that you're gonna fall in love with that. Go to the next slide. So the best way to get the most amount of savings is to get on Essential Rewards, okay? The Essential Rewards has gotten even better where you get even more points back. So just really high overview is the first 1 to 3 months that you're on rewards, you get 10% of what you purchase back in what's called PV. So PV kind of equates to a dollar value, right? And then after 4 months of being on the rewards program, you get, it doubles to 20%. And after 24 months, then you get 25%. And then you get additional bonuses if you are on consistently as a loyalty member, and after every 3 months you get a special gift. So after your first month, like Alzira, you're on your 3rd month, you're going to get a special gift in addition to whatever you ordered, okay? And then the next will be 6 months, 9 months, and then 12 months you get a beautiful loyalty oil that you can't even buy. Also too, let's skip to the next slide, I think. Okay, so here's another strategy for getting even more savings. So we've broken out like a sample here over 4 months of how you can start ditching and switching, right? And getting products that you use anyway every day, but now you can get them at a discount, as well as it's going to help your health. Okay, so on month 1, you can see, for example, we put like you can buy your household cleaner and a dish soap and a hand sanitizer, because when you're on rewards, you have to stay on, you need to order at least 50 PV, which equates to about $50. You will notice, I will say, if you order more, then you can start getting more benefits. After like $100 order, you'll get like bonus promo items, whatever they're promoting that month. And so just skipping down, so we just got samples of what you can replace in month 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at the end of month 4, just for ordering 50 PV a month of items that you're gonna use anyway, you've already earned $25.78, well, not $25, 25.78 PV or ER points, which can be used like money. And just think, if you even spent more, you would have even more than that. But this is just keeping it at 50 PV a month, how you can start saving. So that $25 is going to get you a free bottle of, laundry detergent or whatever you want, right? So this is how you work the program to where you can, they're already discounted, but you're going to get even more savings and more benefits by not only getting into Young Living, but becoming an Essential Rewards member. All right, so we're wrapping up now. We do want you guys to be able to help your friends too. So definitely buy the product, enjoy it, love it, and share your experience with others, because trust me, you're gonna be helping them. And that's something we all can feel good about. So love it and share it, help your friends and family. Next slide. And we have an awesome community here. We have a Facebook group. If you're not already on there, definitely let us know. We'll invite you. We have your emails. We'll send you an email where you can join the group, or I or anyone here can invite you into the Facebook group. We share a lot of DIYs, recipes. It's a community of several hundred people. And so at this point, we just want to open it up for questions, and thank you all for coming. But yeah, Lisa, you had something to add?
Yes, I just want to add one quick thing, because the wonderful thing about loving it and sharing it and telling your friends about the oils is that Young Living rewards you for doing that. So every time you tell a friend what you what you've done, and they decide that, you know, they want all those wonderful benefits, you get a $50 thank you check. And so a lot of people will earn an income by doing this. Some people just to pay for their own oils, some people for extra, you know, vacation money, but it's a great way to not only save your money, but then earn money as well.
Thank you, because I forgot that rushing through. Thank you for adding that, Lisa. Definitely, you can do as much or as little as you like, but if you introduce other friends, like Lisa said, you get a $50 bonus, and so you're getting that savings back to yourself as well. And people really love these products. Anything else, Bev, you want to add? Or
I just want to see if there's any questions. I know that we're a little over time, so being respectful, you know, I understand if people have to leave, but if you have questions, I don't know if there was one in the chat about bleach. So what would be a good alternative? There's several alternatives. Lisa had mentioned hydrogen peroxide is fantastic. I also make a brightening kind of thing, and it has hydrogen peroxide and lemon oil and Dee's household cleaner in it, of course. So yeah, so there's recipes, things like that. So there are things that we do with laundry. If you've got stinkier laundry, you know, you can do like vinegar and things like that to help with the odor as well. So there's things that you can do that are natural to supplement what you were marketed to and thought you were getting from the other products that most of us have used growing up or even now. As you switch over, you can start with one thing, and then as you have questions, you can add something on, so it's not too overwhelming. But are there any other questions, or did we get everything in the chat?
Stop the recording, and then that way, if anyone has any questions, they can ask.